Greetings, good citizens of the cannabis community, and welcome to another episode of Infused, a cannabis talk show brought to you by Terrapin Select CBD. Be wise, be well. Shop terrapinselect.com for all your CBD health and wellness needs. Let's do the show. All right.
Let's go.
Guys, welcome to Infused. As always, I'm joined by the Infused team. Hello, Francesca.
Hello, Nick.
How are
you? Hello, audience. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Hello, Frank.
Wow.
Okay.
She just got them all out. You just went down the list and knocked them all out.
I'm ready.
What strain was that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying hi.
Oh, man.
This is going to be that type of show.
Yeah. Big sack of dad jokes. She's just swinging around like a bag of shame. Look, guys, we have a fun episode today because it's really topical, and it's one that we are listening to what our listeners are saying about the Infused Show. So, number one, thank you so much. We love hearing from you. Direct messages, emails, bring it on, give it to us.
Stop us in public.
Stop us in public. Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah. Canna-con, I got stopped by a few people. I got stopped by a woman that thought she watched our show and did not.
She
Like,
was mistaken.
She's like, yeah.
I remember her.
Y'all helped me grow. I was like, we do?
Ooh.
We didn't give any growers tips. No, but in that spirit, a lot of our audience is saying, we love the industry stuff, we love this, but we love that you also address the canna-curious folk in the audience too. Right. So one of the things I think those canna-curious people don't understand all the way, and in the industry we know a good deal about, is the concept of 420.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's ubiquitous, but not well known.
Yeah, it's not well known to everybody, and we know that in our industry, it is the equivalent of our own Black Friday now. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the thing we all prep for. So we thought on this episode of Infused, we would take you into what 420 is and then what it means for the cannabis business. You guys game?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. So look, if you go on the internet, you can go down a bunch of different rabbit holes, and you say, well, what is 420? What does 420 mean? I think we could all come up with our own origin story. Could you not? Or at least one that you've heard out there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
there's more than one, but I remember the first one that I heard, and I heard it in college because 420 was such a big deal, and everyone said that 420 was the cop code for marijuana possession and for arresting marijuana, stops. And I think that started with a Grateful Dead show in 1990. This is the story I heard, that the flyer was passed around that said, since this is the code for, this, let's turn it on its head by everybody at 420 smoke. And then we're all coming together to do this. It's kind of a rebellious act of, an in-your-face thing. So I think it's a taking back ownership of it from it being this way to crack down on weed. It became a way to celebrate and enjoy weed. So I always heard 420 is the code cops use over the radio to say that they are making, an arrest or possession of whatever.
I've heard that one, and I believed it because police codes are related to pop culture in a lot a lot So I was like,
10-4.
That makes sense. Or a 5-0. So So I was like, that would make sense. So for all I know, that's the real answer.
Right.
Yeah, that is one. I definitely see that working in the police code, and then that element of, we're taking this back.
And it's nice to think that the Grateful Dead started 420. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want that?
Yeah, no. Dates we could probably debate. 90 was probably, 90 date Grateful Dead show. It's probably still a damn good lineup, though.
That's. I'm just saying what I heard.
Just saying what I'm saying.
Some truth, some
fiction. Well, Mike, could you give us what's one you've heard out there?
The one I'd heard before, and again, who knows if this is true, but the one I'd heard a lot was that it was related to some high school kids. I think it was in California, San Rafael High School or something like that. That was their dedicated meeting time at a Louis Pasteur statue or something like that was on their school campus.
Yep.
So that's where they would meet at that time, and that was like I'm sure it was after school because I can't imagine they're still in school at 420.
Yeah.
So probably after school, meet up, smoke. It's
just the time to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I had heard.
420 Louis. Yeah, it's one that's out there. It's certainly very popular. I've heard one that I got to think is the craziest. because, Bob Dylan's Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35. Of course, the chorus is everyone must get stoned. You stone, so but the theory is if you multiply 12 times 35, you get 420. And I'm sitting there thinking, how stupid is this theory in particular? You're talking about Bob Dylan, who was so into English literature, he changed his name in honor of a Welsh poet. I don't think he's worried about multiplying 12 and 35 and
Nobody's
getting
making
14.
a math problem out of
That's my thing. That smells the worst of all of them.
It does. It certainly smells the
skunk
worst.
theory of it.
And if we do trace the origins, we do know that it is the theory that Mike presented that is the one that is genuinely accepted as correct. It's in Ratzer Slurman's book. It's in
So the kids are all right.
The kids are all right. San Rafael High School, 420 Louis. You know what they were doing.
We thank you for your service.
The Waldos.
The Waldos.
Starting a movement.
Yeah. So they would meet near the wall and smoke. So we uncovered that mystery for the canna-curious that are out there. Not that it was a big mystery, but
really, I mean, I hadn't heard the Bob Dylan theory. I hadn't, and I'd heard
nuts.
That's a good point. I'd heard both, and I didn't know what was true about it. So it's always good to correct misinformation rather than spread it.
Yeah, you get it all here. Well, as far as on the day, April 20th, Francesca, what can you tell us about what tends to go down on 420 for the typical cannabis user?
Break it down.
Ooh, gladly. What I've seen over the years is that 420 is very much like, you compare it to the Black Friday. I think that's the business side of the 420.
Yeah.
I think for the consumer side, for cannabis users, it's the St. Patrick's Day of holidays.
Ooh,
because
that's
it is
good.
really about celebrating the culture in the sense of like almost like the stereotypes of it. Like you get to overindulge in or indulge in smoking, eating, drinking all of your cannabis, taking your weed, your medicine, and then all the pleasant after effects of that. Going to concerts, and it's about music, it's about food, it's about rest, it's about creativity. It's
Couch lock.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it can really be anything that you want it to be, and it is very much a communal thing. Just like everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day, everybody can smoke on 420. It is kind of a it's expected.
I really like your analogy with St. Patrick's Day.
I do too.
Because that is very communal, very like the brotherhood and sisterhood, everybody coming together, everybody enjoying the holiday, the friendship, the product.
Very.
They're both green holidays. It's a strong analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the everybody Irish to everybody can smoke weed. Everybody can technically. My dad ain't going to be out there. The general's not out there on 420 toking it up.
You don't know.
Yeah.
I saw him, and he was like, "Shh, Mike, be quiet."
Just because it's not with you doesn't mean he's not. No, I mean, I do think it is. It's helping to normalize and to spread, to bring it out into the open and not make it such a, clandestine act.
Yeah. Well, I like your analogy, so we'll keep playing with it. We'll talk about the St. Patrick's Day aspect of it versus the Black Friday aspect of it. So, Mike, if I can go to you speak to the Black Friday aspect of it. What will a typical cannabis business along the lines of the ones you work with, you and Francesca work with, what do they do for 420?
So I think this is an evolving holiday, so to speak, because I think as it picks up momentum and more people participate, it then kind of builds on itself till it becomes a bigger thing for the retail or the medical dispensaries. Because typically they know there's going to be an influx of people coming in on that particular day, and I think you've got some data, but if I was taking a guess, I would suspect that sales before 420, like the 18th and 19th, are probably pretty soft. And then it blows up on 420, and then probably is soft again maybe for a couple of days after that. Because people will plan to go to those stores, to maybe be a part of an event. Sometimes there's music at the stores, there's samples, there's vendors,
Cannabis celebrities.
There's you want to make it an event because it's the
Product
opportunity
launches,
for the store to really connect with the plant and connect with the consumers and to bring everybody together to celebrate it. And then at the same time, they're they're going to have a great profit day. So I think from the retail side, Nick, your Black Friday analogy is dead on. It's a big shopping day that people plan to be out and about, hit a couple stores, buy some new products, take advantage of some specials and things like that. And it's a way to celebrate. It's kind of like the first step in celebrating. All the things Francesca mentioned of hanging out, listening to music, watching movies, and all that stuff. Gotta go to the store first.
Unless you grow your own, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, true.
But it is you're talking about a conscious consumer that's very much planning to get out and take advantage of this day.
Right.
Francesca, we know that people make plans to do this now, right? I mean, there's data, there are people. We're gonna thank some of these people that we studied for this Black Friday episode, but we know people are out there, and you should plan to make a sale if you're a business, correct?
Oh, absolutely. If you're not capitalizing on this date, you are missing out on a huge opportunity because, and I have to have stats in front of me because I don't memorize them. But it is like, what is it? 40% plan to go to a dispensary on 420.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's of course, like from whatever sample size that they pulled from, 40% is almost. It's almost half the population. That's a significant amount. Yeah. And then they also plan to consume more than usual. Those same people, that same 40% are also planning to consume more than usual. So you have not only regular buyers and new buyers, you have buyers that are looking to increase their purchasing power.
Celebration.
Exactly. Yep. So you've got to have something exciting for them to buy. You better have a reason for them to be there, a reason for them to get excited to come to your store, and something to get them. And then it's not just about what you smoke or eat, or it's not just about the weed, because it's 17% plan to purchase swag, decor, accessories. I mean, you're talking about...
It's like 1 in 6 people walking in just buying something else.
Yeah, it's a perfect day for a new grinder or for, a glass blunt or whatever it is, because... And then it's 17% purchase new glass or smoking accessory. So we want to be a part of it. There are sales happening. You can increase the traffic into your store, your revenues, easily with a ready-made holiday. They're already planning on being there.
I'm surprised that I didn't see any cards in the Walgreens.
Yeah.
420 card. I'm shocked that the greeting card industry hasn't jumped on that.
Well, because you always even had the greeting card brand that was a little bit more, off kilter, or what was it called? You know what I mean? It was like a more savvy kind of humor.
Right.
You would think shoebox or whatever. You would think that they'd put something like that.
I wonder if the big box won't bring those in.
Or maybe they will when it's federally legal. Maybe the Hallmark is scared of the federal prohibition.
For now, because
I've seen greeting cards at dispensaries though.
Oh, really?
I remember one time in California there was one that you could get some cards and it came with a pre-roll in it. Remember, it was like part of the card. This was years ago.
I don't remember that.
And it was a line in a dispensary because I was like, that's genius.
That is really smart. And that would be a great way for independent artists to get into dispensaries if you want to do that. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that it doesn't just have to be these major chains and these major established businesses, but independent and small-owned or small businesses.
That's a good business idea.
Well, I mean, as we keep making our plant more normal to the average consumer, you're going to see that happen. And I think in 2 years of pandemic life, this plant did get normalized.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a different kind of cannabis consumer that's out there now. We're talking 2 years into a pandemic. Through those 2 years, we saw increased daily use. We saw more people using cannabis than ever before. So now there's a whole new crop of ancillary businesses that are trying to get in on the 420 phenomenon. And I wanted to throw some at you and see if we could get your reaction for our audience. So these are ancillary businesses, guys, who saw 42022 and said, let's take advantage of that. You guys know White Castle?
Yes.
Burgers.
Midwest burger chain. Now this year at White Castle, they teamed up with a certain cannabis brand known as Cookies.
Yeah, I saw that new launch.
So you could get your 420 cheesy 10 sack. I don't know if that's a great name. But you also had exclusive clothing drops, because we know Burner is a monster when it comes to merchandise, and you could get a special beanie at White Castle too. They were running a special on 420. Jack in the Box.
Well, wait, real quick. White Castle, wasn't that Harold and Kumar go to White Castle? That's a stoner movie, isn't it?
It
so
is.
like they've been part of stoner culture
Yeah.
for a while. So it makes sense that Burner partners with them.
Yeah.
You
There's a
know,
new strain he dropped too.
Yeah.
The
really?
White Castles. Yeah. I saw the packaging for it. I was like, what is this? Cheeseburger flavor? Like, what is this?
So he's got a new strain, but it's interesting, and he's operating more in the Midwest, as we know from our recent travels. A Midwest burger chain partnering with Burner.
Yeah, that's pretty
Come
incredible
on.
for normalization, because it's easy for us as a coastal city, you know,
Yeah.
or as a coastal state, and like on the coast to be like, okay, it's more accepted, it's more normalized, it's that stigma is dropping. I don't think the same is true as in the South and maybe in the Midwest and some more rural areas. So good for them.
Yeah. I think it can only help. Jack in the Box.
Are they more burgers?
Jack in the Box was it was almost like a McDonald's or
I didn't even know they were still around, frankly.
yeah.
Like, I haven't seen
I don't
one of
know
those
what
in a
they
long-ass
are.
time.
There used to be one
I know
at
they're
the,
fast
at the
food.
beach years and years ago.
I know what you're talking about.
That was the one you had to order through a clown. Yeah, and
freaky.
my grandfather didn't know how to do it, so he was just squeezing the fake clown's nose in the drive-through.
More questions than answers. Let's
Yeah.
table that.
Oh yeah,
What was he high?
I don't know.
Sounds like it.
Guy served time in World War II, whatever he had to
Deserves
do.
to
Yeah. So if you went to Jack in the Box this year, you could order a Pineapple Express milkshake.
Ooh.
That sounds pretty good.
And what would it cost you? $4.20.
Huh.
Yeah. So
That
again,
seems expensive for a milkshake.
it does.
Are they?
Is it?
I don't. It's
Everything's expensive, so I have no concept of what a milkshake costs
Yeah,
now.
maybe it's huge.
Oh. But is it, I wonder if it's pineapple flavored milkshake? Would you have, or is it just like, let's play on the name and it's.
I didn't
Sure it's
order one.
pineapple flavor.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. What if? What
Would
are
you have
thinking?
a pineapple flavored milkshake?
On 420? Absolutely.
I
Yeah. What do you
do
think?
know.
It's gonna be blueberry flavored?
I do know that
It's express flavored.
yes, it tastes just like Express. I know that promotion angered Seth Rogen, who is one of the writers of the Pineapple Express film, because there was a bunch of assumption that they had partnered, and he was like, no. And he didn't take any action or anything, but I know that
thank
wasn't.
goodness.
Yeah, I know
So
that
fast
didn't.
food films, cannabis, and celebrities tend to run together.
A little bit. On 420, you could order Wingstop and get glazed and blazed wings on 420.
That's clever.
Good play.
Yeah.
That's clever.
And a similar special was TGI Fridays partnering up with Uber Eats, perfect, giving you a couch lock special, and they weren't too creative. They called theirs glazed and blazed meal through Uber Eats, where you could just sample a bunch of their appetizers.
All appetizers?
Yeah, all
That's
appetizers.
smart.
Yeah, through Uber Eats. I thought that was just,
Someone's upset it's already May and he's got to wait here.
yeah.
Now my mind, I might be done for the rest of the episode. I'm like, wonder what appetizers it is. Is it the mott sticks and the wings, or like I'm going like head mind
Yeah.
blown now.
The stoner sampler.
And I did think the most creative that I saw was if you ordered from Jimmy John's, they based your discount that day. It was called the How High Are You discount on April 20th. And you had to pump in your location, and they based it on elevation from where you were sitting from the point of order.
Whoa, that is intricate.
Yeah, they're not just about killing animals over there at Jimmy John's.
I was going to say, can we not promote Jimmy John's since that owner is a trophy hunter of exotic game and fuck that noise?
Well, but I mean, that's a creative as hell
It is.
promo.
It doesn't help Delaware much, as we are home to the
No
lowest.
discount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have to
we're
pay
home to
more,
the lowest,
actually.
highest point.
And there's one Jimmy John's on Market Street. Yeah.
Screw Jimmy John's. Don't buy from them.
So, well, let me get your take though. When you see businesses like this kind of participating, these ancillary businesses are jumping in on 420. What's your reaction?
It's mixed. I think this is what we need for normalization. This is what we need to end the stigma. And at the same time, it also feeds it, because it's like the old stoner jokes of all they do is couch lock
blonde
and
jokes.
eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like blonde jokes. Yeah.
Could be.
And so it works and doesn't. It's also making money off of something with where where's the money that they're making going? Because you look at like something like Ben and Jerry's does it right, where they are giving back and they are doing something. They're part of more than just coming in for a cash grab, which is my biggest problem with businesses when it comes to cannabis.
That's a strong point, because if they were to do it right, I guess in your estimation, and I think I know where you're going with this, it would be like, okay, so everything that we generate, whatever percent of proceeds from the couch lock special, is going to Last Prisoner Project or something like that. Sort of scenario, rather than just lining their pockets in a predatory type way, taking advantage of the 1 day a year.
Exactly. I would rather see, I think it would be interesting if something like, if it was more earth conscious, if it was more plant-based, even if you had something like Patagonia saying, we're going to give 20% of our profits to these 4 charities that are there to help with farmers, to help protect the earth, to help with Last Prisoner Project, to help, with these causes. And that's 420, but I think we're early now. And so early adopters tend to be cute, tend to be about marketing
So I guess where I am with it, Nick, is I think it's a smart marketing play. I think it, and like you said, it's kind of cute and gimmicky. It makes me wonder why just 1 day a year. So, if you really want to be associated with the industry, keep the couch lock special rolling year round. Because I want to get the son of a bitch right now. But also, are they supporting the industry year round? Like, are they supporters of people going to the ballots and and voting in the right ways? Are they? And they're probably not. I don't know if they aren't, so it's probably not fair for me to say that. But none of those brands jump out at me as ones that are out there educating or promoting cannabis reform or anything like that. So in a way, it's like a little predatory to me that they're taking advantage of the holiday. I mean, I get it. It's a marketing game. Everybody's trying to differentiate and associate with their target market or part of their target market or whatever it is. But at the same time, it's pretty shallow. It would be nice to see it go a little deeper and a little more consistent.
Yeah, that's what I thought, a consistency thing. And just, I think you can impress people in our community a lot more by just putting more thought into it, kind of like you said. Right. And instead of a deal, like, oh, are you coming into the restaurant? Well, if you sign up here, you sign up for the normal chapter in this state, get on the Last Prisoner Project email list. Oh, and then you get this discount or whatever, and make it, I don't know.
That's a great idea.
There should be a little bit of a switch versus just, like you say, the predatory thing of just taking money.
Well, I think kind of what you're saying, Francesco said, is, this is kind of new, novel. It'll be interesting to see what happens 11 months from now. 10 months from now, whenever they start promoting next year's specials. And I think that's where hopefully we see some evolution and maturation of their approach.
Yeah. Can I say something really random that I'm kind of just realizing and slightly annoyed by? Yes, I can, because I have a microphone in your attention. And
I was going to cut you off.
These guys get to capitalize and market to the cannabis community and using cannabis culture and cannabis language. And I'm sure they're doing this on social media and all the normal channels that cannabis businesses aren't allowed to promote and market themselves on. That's a little bit of a problem for me.
No doubt. Yeah, it's not a level playing field, but they're just,
Yeah, well, it's not a direct thing.
It's not. I know that. There's a difference.
That we all know what it means, but I guarantee there are some people being like, "Oh, sweet couch talk special," and they don't even know what it means. They're just throwing.
They're just glad.
There's a lot of obtuse people out there.
I don't know. Still, it rubs me the wrong way.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
It is.
So, like, you can profit from the cannabis community.
You can outmarket us.
Yeah, you can outmarket us that are actually in cannabis.
Yeah.
Not cool.
You have access to pulpits they don't let us on. Yeah, it's a fantastic point. Brought to you by Francesca.
She has lots of opinions.
Stopped the show and said, I'm going to say something now. I like that. I like that a lot. But stop the show, stop the presses, 4/20/22. It just happened, so this is a very new recording, and we wanted to put this together with the data that came in from this past 4/20/22. Guys, this is the one people have been waiting for. You got to remember, in-person sales weren't everywhere. This has been 2 years since people have been able to get into that dispensary on 4/20. This is the one they were looking forward to, Mike.
Do you remember what we were doing 2 years ago on 4/20?
I certainly do. Could you enlighten our audience, or do we go there?
Doing a cookies drop for Colta in Baltimore. That you want to talk about busy?
Ooh.
That was insane in the membrane.
That was talking to about 700 different consumers in 5 hours, 4 hours.
Crazy.
It
And
was
sometime
crazy.
not getting them at the most convenient part of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, but it just occurred to me. I was like, oh my God, that was 2 years ago. We started doing that. Wow. So I'm sorry, Nick.
No, there's nothing to be sorry for. But I'm saying we've got the data now, guys. And in many ways, this was the day that this industry has been waiting for 2 years. In-person sales came back in a big way. Consumers are more confident. They're vaccinated. They're more educated, too, when it comes to cannabis. And the reports that we see, the early reports, Francesca, are pretty damn good, right?
Yeah, they're really good to see because it says that in American dispensaries, there was a 148% increase from the 4 weeks before.
Leading up.
Yeah, so
Strong.
that's incredible. So if you're a cannabis dispensary, you could be missing out on basically 150% increase of your previous sales.
It's biggest 420 in at least 4 years. We have new states, new consumers, and I think one thing that people don't talk about enough when they see numbers like this is we have new delivery methods that more people are comfortable with.
Right.
So I was going to go right to you, Mike, and it's the top seller with a bang. This 420 right here.
Beverage.
Yes. Yeah. Did that surprise you?
It did surprise me. It really surprised me because, I mean, I know, and they've been out. It's not like they've never been out before. So beverages have been out there, but now they're getting more mainstream. There's more flavors. There's probably better flavors. There's, I know Wild has some stuff, which I'm a huge fan of, that has all natural juices. So the fact that beverages came in and won the gold medal on 420 is a pretty big accomplishment in my mind.
Yeah. I think it makes sense to me because it's like if you're a new consumer and so many people, and especially around COVID too, and post-COVID is like smoking has, and the perception of smoking as healthy or unhealthy is pretty divisive for a lot of people. And so I think, and then taking a gummy, some people fear, or any kind of edible, people fear edibles because there's this maybe lack of control, or you hear horror stories of taking too much. And so I feel like maybe a drink is discreet. You don't have the vape gate, crisis history. Yeah. You don't have the flower conspicuousness and the taste and the smoking. It's really interesting to me, but it's not necessarily surprising that as new consumers come on, new methods of consumption come and go and get popular. And you're right, I think manufacturing of it has improved and increased. So that's probably a big part of it too.
Distribution. It's just out there more.
Yeah.
Yeah, numbers were huge in America and Canada. I mean, in both places, we have just infused drinks being right up there. So that bodes well for the Infused Show, I think. Now, but I guess the other thing, too, do you think people are just more, less intimidated at the point of sale, Mike, when it comes to something like this versus give me an eighth or give me a quarter? Like, is it a smarter purchase for some people than loose flower?
I'm not sure if it's a smarter or whatever purchase, but I think what it is, because consumers are more experienced and probably more educated, I think they're also potentially more willing to try something new and not be intimidated by, oh, it's a beverage. Am I going to get, is it going to hit me hard or whatever? And so I just feel like that's the case. I know when you bought that one, it wasn't, it's metered. You can see how much you've consumed. So you look at it and you can get a pretty good indication on the dosage. So I think a lot of it is people are just more confident in the plant science and plant manufacturing and the distribution of quality goods to good dispensaries. And on a day like 420, they might be regular flower users are like, you know what, hell yeah, it's 420. Let's try a beverage today and let's just get some of this and that. Like, I think there is that as we look at the sales data, people buying more things and spending more money. Sure. A beverage could be definitely one that hits the cart.
Yeah. It also is very party friendly. It's shareable.
Yeah.
You can have beverages very easily in addition to other things that you have. I can see going to a party and being like, hey, we have these beverages and we have this flour and we have these gum. Like, it's part of a selection and an array. And it's also could be a calorie thing, a sugar thing. I mean, if you're not interested in chocolate and sugary gummies and stuff. I don't know, maybe a
My
beverage.
curiosity with beverages is it eating into the market share for alcohol? And
At
so
all,
do you
yeah.
like, so are some of those purchasers people that are normally beer drinkers or something like that, or like Tito's drinkers that are like, hey, it's 420, so I'm going to stick with a drink. Let's get a THC beverage. I don't know. I'd love to see that data.
Yeah, that's a really interesting parallel. I'd be really interested to see how many people would buy more than one. I think this is a single purchase for most people, and I think somebody's going to give. Hey,
I think price point definitely drives it to be a single
tough.
purchase a lot of
Yeah.
times. Yeah. You're not picking up a six pack.
But that's 100 though, isn't it? Isn't that
Yeah,
100 milligrams?
that's 100 milligrams. Yeah.
Yeah,
That thing's popping.
it is for sure. Other things that we saw, friends, that was really interesting to us. We saw the sales of concentrates went up big time, which was surprising to me because I think they're a bit of an intimidating purchase for some people because they don't know if they have the hardware, et cetera, et cetera. Strong 420 as far as pre-rolls are concerned. Big. And we've seen that in dispensaries, really smart dispensaries keep Lucy's right up there at the point of sale. And we say, hey,
Or they
why
throw
not?
them in with a certain, dollar purchase. So that might be a big part of it.
And yeah, no doubt. And I think the smallest growth we thought, but they were still up. Edible sales were up.
I love edibles.
And vape sales were up. Both strong performers during the pandemic as well. So
Very
it's
strong.
It's interesting. Those other ones made huge gains. And one other data point to our listeners that I thought was interesting, Mike, was because you brought up the Baltimore work, text orders. 15 million text orders were placed nationwide on this 420.
I would say
Wow, that's
text ordering is a must-have if you can have it, because it is, think about the population that you're serving in general, especially on 420. It's going to be millennials and Gen Z and Gen Xers, and texting is just, and even boomers are going to be texting more easily. And also, your staff is already flooded with in-person purchasing, with phone calls, with questions. Are you open? Do you have this? Text ordering allows the decisive people to make those decisions, to avoid having to talk to people. I mean, it takes away so many barriers. So, oh my God, if you're a dispensary and you don't have text ordering, get yourself some.
Yeah. I mean, especially looking at those numbers.
Yeah.
If this was the biggest, we all have seen these numbers, and look, we've gotten great information from Flow Hub and Brightfield, and we are all looking at the numbers. If this was the big one, the big 420, are you confident that you can say why, Mike? Here's why this was the biggest 420.
I think it's a combination of factors that really led this year, 2022, to have a strong 420. The first one I would throw out there that pops in my mind is just more availability of product. And think about how many more states are either medical or rec versus 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So just that alone has got to be tens or hundreds of millions of extra consumer base potential, out there buying on 420. So I think you look at it that way. I'm thinking it's the states, more states, and there's just better products. I mean, we talked about the beverage, we talked about these other things. There's more availability, more ways, as you mentioned, Nick, earlier. Distribution set up now. You've got web ordering, text ordering. You've got delivery. You've got in person. You got store pickup, like touchless pickups products. I know people are still running that because consumers really like that. They don't want to necessarily have to leave their car. A lot of dispensaries have a drive-through scenario going.
Yeah.
So I think the dispensaries have gotten smarter and wiser to catering to the needs of the consumers in those aspects to get them what they need and what they want in a way that they want to receive it. And I think that's significant market growth and maturation over the last 2 years just from those two.
And on the consumer side, there's less stigma. Every year, that percentage of the general population that approves of cannabis use to some degree grows. And I think we're in the 91% of the country agrees with legalization to some degree or another in consumption. So we understand it as safe. We understand it as harmless. We understand it as productive. We understand it as medicine. And we have, destigmatized it through those ways. And that means there's more consumers, there's more new consumers, there's repeat consumers. We're all out in the open with it. And so seeing more people participate in 420 is going to get people to participate more in 420. So it'll be interesting if next year is even bigger, and it should be, because we should have more states, or so maybe federal or even federal legalization. Yeah, and so it's this is maybe just the beginning of the trend.
I hope so. We're gonna get to next year in just a second, because I want to get I want you to speak to businesses. But yeah, and I think you all touched on the big points, I think, that are why we had this kind of 420, and it was just, wasn't it cool to be able to wake up this 420 and be like, oh yeah, how did New Mexico do? Oh, how did Jersey do? And you could,
421, you could tell.
yeah.
Jersey.
But you knew that we had these states in play. It was really cool to see this as a reality this year. But if we're talking about next year, look, we want to top this year. Mm-hmm. What do smart cannabis businesses do to prepare for 42023? Francesca, I'll let you go first.
I think in addition to all the obvious things around the marketing, the events, the sales, and things like that, they can hold they can provide more education and more opportunity for new consumers by having maybe medical cards or, education opportunities for people to get into the dispensary. So if you can renew your medical card, if you could sign up for a medical card on 420, you can maybe get more people that way and get people renewed that way, that you have them coming into the store for one reason to shop and one reason to learn or to renew or to whatever, then they're going to shop anyway. So more reasons to drive people to your dispensary is going to be critical. And that's an important part of it, because you're going to have more competition in the market. So it can't just be the same things that everybody is doing. Not everybody's going to be able to book the biggest star and have the loudest music and all of those things.
That's a great point, but you can make your dispensary a unique 420 celebration destination. Give somebody a reason to get in that car and tell the story of why it was unique to get to your place. Mike, what do you think businesses can do to prepare and put themselves in a good place to succeed for the next year?
I think there's a couple things that pop to mind for me. And when I look at what I saw dispensaries that I thought did it well versus ones that didn't do it quite so well, I think it's because there was just a lot more planning and preparation that they put into it. So they didn't start figuring it out on April 13th, in other words. I mean, so thinking ahead to maybe having some new strains or commemorative strains or special packaging, like that kind of stuff, that takes time. In addition to like booking and all that stuff, I really like what Francesca said in terms of finding ways to bring new people in to educate, to do these different things. Is just another way to build that customer base of new people and make it comfortable for them to have a session or a seminar that they can feel comfortable with, different age groups that all come together. But to me, I really think that a lot of it is really related to that planning and preparation part to make it, because you have to know going into it. Consumers are going to come out in masses. They're going to go to probably multiple stores. They're going to spend more money. So do it like they do in the Bourbon Trail down in Kentucky. Make it so that it's easy for you and the other dispensaries in the area. Make it so that they get they stamp a card at every store, and at the end they, if they go to all the stores and make a purchase at those stores, now they're eligible for something bigger and better. Like, come together more even, I mean, not even talking about like the Wingstop and shit like that. Like, within the family, they can do more to come together. And I think by coupling those things together, it just adds more credibility and consumer confidence, potentially.
I like that. It's like what's the new word, that co-opetition, you can totally exactly get with it's the no one grows alone mindset and model. And you could even do something like different sessions for different reasons. You could have the medical renewal card. You could have how to grow your own. I mean, if you sell seeds at a dispensary, you better be having a plant science and how to grow session on 420. And that's like, hey, that runs from 9 to 11. And anybody who attends gets a discount on seeds that's this much. And on this, and then we're going to have a dabbing, education.
Get comfortable with dabbing.
Huge.
Yeah. If you can do a consumption lounge, that would be amazing. Of course, there's a lot of problems with that.
So just think about this. I mean, can't you pretty quickly see 420 expanding into a multi-day event just for the stuff you just planned out? If somebody hired us and said, hey, help me plan out a good 420 event, we could help somebody plan out a week of 420. A few days before and a few days after. And it's all geared towards raising and elevating the consumer education and experience.
All for 420. Yeah.
All
And it'd be
centered
like
around,
4
or maybe
days
it
setting.
culminates on 420
Yep.
or whatever it's going to be. But I can quickly see this turning into a multi-day holiday.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
Just like Black Friday turns into Cyber Monday, turns into Giving Tuesday, turns
Now
into...
you shop Thursday night. On
Yep.
Thanksgiving night, people are going. And so, yeah, it bleeds over real easy.
creating this into an experience.
Yes.
Versus just a singular kind
one-off.
of purchase, a one-off purchase thing is huge.
Relationships experience trump transactions every time.
Yeah, and I think we all know the members of our community. Like, if this becomes a 3-day event, Mike, it's going to be special. It's going to be peaceful. It's probably going to rake in a ton of money for the people that do it right. But I love that point. I love where you're going there. How
You
are we
should
going
get
to see
your
it
pets
expand?
involved too.
Yeah, dose your pet. No, don't do that.
Don't dose your pet, but you do have CBD for pets, and you can do some like pup stuff.
I will say this.
Cats on cannabis.
The claim was never made on this show, but a lot of people thought that 420 2021 was going to be the last illegal 420. I didn't see how that was ever possible.
No.
I'm going to ask you guys, was this the last illegal 420? Are we going federal in the next year?
No.
Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance.
No, you'll
Hard
never.
no.
We're always going to shoot you straight on the Infused Show. Real quick thing. We do have a report directly from the New Jersey market on this past 420. Francesca was on the scene.
Tried to be.
Tell us what you thought.
So in 421, New Jersey opened up their recreational sales. And being a Delawarean, where it's only medically legal and not going anywhere fast, it's nice to have a state that's drivable to go to and shop recreationally. So I took myself to South Jersey, and at first I did my research on the stores that were open and were available, and they were all corporate weed. So it was Curatech, the Cannabiz, which is owned by Columbia Care, I believe. A whole... Did I say Curatech? I meant Curaleaf. Sorry about that. Sorry, Curatech. You're a good IT company.
IT provider.
Curaleaf is the cannabis.
They sell too.
But yeah, so we decided. So Nick and I took a drive up to Jersey. Yeah. We stopped at the cannabis dispensary, and the parking lot was jumping. I mean, people were coming in, and there was a lot of activity. And then we walk up we take a selfie, we walk up to the door, and the guy checking IDs, first question he says, "Are you medical or rec?" And we said, "Rec." And he said, "Only 5 to 7." And it was like 2:00 in the afternoon. And so they were open for recreational for 2 hours in their day. They were turning away.
Which means they weren't ready to open recreationally.
Correct. And I am all for making sure medicinal cannabis is available to medical card holders first and foremost. However, don't say you're a rec if you're not ready for rec. So we said, all right, no problem. There's another store just 2 miles down the street. So Curaleaf, we'll go to that store. We drive. There is a line around the block.
Oh, yeah.
And it was staggering how many people were waiting in that line. And it was like, well, I don't actually need anything. I was doing this for the data and for the recon, for the experience, and to support legalization. And I was like, so I don't need to support it for in a 3-hour line or whatever that line was.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like it was a rough launch. I haven't been up since, but definitely a tough launch. And it's disappointing because when we're talking about professional sales, cannabis, guys, these are corporate dispensaries that weren't even getting out there messaging about wait times, about the hours that they're available, about, product availability, about setting expectations and policies and how to, it's really...
Yeah, this isn't the first state they've operated in. So it is a little startling that they didn't do a better job with their kickoff.
Exactly.
And I you could say it's conspiracy theory-like. I don't think that messaging was there for a purpose. I think they loved the way that parking lot looked. I think they loved the activity there, and that there was the buzz, and people were going into that door only to walk right the hell back out in a lot of cases. Wow. It was just, what was the old thing about SNL? It was just not ready for prime time. Just not. It sucks. So,
hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah.
In a slow and steady pace, I guess. We'll check it out. If you've had an experience at a New Jersey dispensary, we would love to hear about it. I hope it was a good one because that's what we want to have is good experiences with good people.
Absolutely. It was our report on 4/20/22 for those out there that are in the industry and those who are kind of curious about what goes on this day. I know some people are always curious about the thoughts and musings of a certain man from Jersey, a guy named Frankie Fifth Year. I wanted to talk to him if we could.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Good to see you guys.
It's been a while, buddy.
Yes, it has.
We actually haven't all four been in the same room recording in months. This is really cool. We've been doing Zoom shows and whatnot, and we always like to come in and ask some fun questions at the end. So today, in honor of 420, people always like to do this. Who's the Mount Rushmore of rock drummers? Francesca likes to ask me, who's the Mount Rushmore of Beatles? And I'm always like, Francesca. But what I wanted to do today is let's talk 420 culture. Let's talk about when you have the munchies. What are the 4 foods that we put on your Mount Munchmore?
I have a question.
Shocking.
Francesca has a question.
Shocking. We can edit this out, too.
Is your Mount Munchmore the 4 foods that you do commonly go to, or are they like the best foods?
The best.
If you had anything available,
The best. The best, Jerry.
Okay.
The best. Mount Munchmore. And you know who's starting us off, Mike? It's going to be Frankie Fifth Year, sir.
Yes.
Always. Why is it always me? This is a great
trail.
question.
Thank you, Frank.
Gosh. I think my first grab, if I'm chilling on the couch, is sweet and spicy sunflower seeds.
Wow.
What? And I could probably go through the whole bag.
Okay, whole
What
bag.
size bag?
You know, the ones you get from like 7-Eleven or gas station. Yeah. I just love
salt, man.
seeds. I don't know if it was like from my early baseball days. I just
Do you
just a
spit
go-to.
the seed out or do you swallow the seed?
Yeah, I'm not a lunatic.
Yeah. I know some people that eat the whole thing, just roll through.
That is insane.
So you have like a cup and you're just spitting into it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's definitely not attractive if you're sitting in a room with me. But
Guess what I
again,
bet?
I'm high anyway. So
This is not his date night Mount Rushmore.
absolutely not.
Guess what I bet is well stocked at the Dash-In. Go ahead.
yeah, no, that's where I pick it up.
They probably
Yeah.
know you're coming.
They know me there.
Yeah,
The next one would have to be boneless buffalo wings.
nice
with
call.
ranch. Like another not attractive thing to eat on date nights. But again, I'm in my own
That's
place.
more attractive than with the bone in. That's definitely.
Well, yeah, I guess so. It's a step up from there.
I love it. That's a good call.
Next one is the Grubhub order, Rocco's Pizza, plain pie, get that delivered. If I'm that high, I might forget I ordered it. Then I get a random call.
Oh, that's a good call.
Hey, I'm here. I'm like, who's here? The Grubhub guy. Oh, shit. I'll be down there a second.
That's got to be the best feeling. Who's
yeah. Remembering
Who's here?
How many times that happened?
handful.
Between 4 and 20.
Oh,
So Rocco's is a great spot. Nick put me on that place. They got great cutlets there. Good bar, cute bartender. Forgot her name, but I'll be back.
this episode is brought to you by Rocco's. Rocco's Italian Grill in, on Union.
Great spot. First spot is Cool Ranch Doritos.
All
with
right.
a side of queso.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look
Another
at
Dash-In
that.
purchase.
Wow.
I like, Frank, a strong Mount Munchmore. Thank you for kicking it off.
Wow.
Thanks for kicking it off. Frank, we're going to send it over to Mike Patterson.
All
Mike,
right,
on your Mount Munchmore.
I've thought about this one quite a bit. And I've narrowed it down to the following 4. My do you want me to start at my least favorite? My
let's
number
go
4?
Let's go with 4 up.
Okay. Number 4 is going to be combos. The specific is cheddar cheese pretzel.
Ooh,
That's my number 4.
that's a strong one.
That's
My
that's my airport snack.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
you demolish.
You have.
Number 3, Hers potato chips with French onion dip.
Ooh.
Like the cold French onion dip.
So, yeah,
like a hell of
okay.
a good dip stuff.
Wow.
I can go through like a tub of that shit.
Wow. That's a
And
good
that's
one.
brought to you by my friend Patrick, who you guys know. He's the one that introduced me to that. Now I'm like,
Really?
He's the culinary genius behind that concoction.
Number 2 is going to be any leftover pizza. I don't have the patience to order like Frank does, so it's got to be something I can get my hands on fast.
Yeah.
So
you're not cooking
pizza.
like Elio's. You're not ordering pizza. It's already there.
It's got to be there.
All right.
I don't have if it's a 20-minute oven time, I'm moving on. Last one, my number one top go-to is nachos. And that would be with melted real cheese, not like
Gotcha.
dip. So tortilla chips with melted cheese.
Love it. Love it. That is a formidable Mountain Munchmore. And I like that Mike threw in there too. I'm not going to order it, the pizza.
No, there's no way. I don't have that patience.
I like that it's left there because I always go in there. I don't know why I get paranoid.
And the real cheese. I don't want to use a dip.
Yeah, I'm not going
dip
the
shit.
jar, the gas
Just crushing
station
my
jar.
queso. Yeah.
Hey, the good news, Frank, is if we're together, I don't have to worry about
No
you
cross
taking each other's
contamination.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
What about the old Forge snack?
What did we have?
The late night snack.
What did we have?
Cutlets, right?
Oh, that was delicious. Yeah, that's a one-off though, because I never have cutlets in my house.
Yeah.
That was definitely.
That's a
I was
problem.
walking around like crushing those things.
Yeah.
I had it wrapped in a paper towel like I was at a stadium.
Yeah. We were all acting like it was finger food, just walking around. Like we're in the first scene of Goodfellas with our cutlets. This is good. Francesca, I'll give you the opportunity. You can go last or you can go now.
I'll go last.
That's what I thought she would want. Gentlemen, I
And
stacked.
lady.
I wasn't finished. I'm going to keep getting cut. Gentleman and lady, I stacked mine thusly. I have just generic peanuts. I can eat peanut after peanut. It's
Dry roasted, honey roast. What are you talking about?
dry roasted.
All right, yeah, that's a strong.
Light salt.
Yeah, light salt. Ooh, man, I can't stop eating them.
I might take off combos.
All
right.
My next one is just a barbecue potato chip. Oh my God, simple, easy,
Quick.
crush them. On top of that, on Mount Munchmore, I have Jack's cheese curls. Specifically, has to be Jack's, Jax.
Are they the ones that look like they're like J shaped?
Yes.
Or are they the balls?
They're the J shape.
Oh, those things are.
They're a little crispy.
Yeah. Is your couch a mess after that?
Oh no, I never
Your
let
hands
I never let myself buy them because they'll be everywhere. And then number one, I have leftover pizza. So a repeat
Wow.
Mount Munchmore.
Nice.
Now, the
All right.
ladies' answer.
So I can't order these exactly, but I know for sure pizza, a fresh pie is on there. Frank and I will order our fresh pies.
Fine.
You guys can have the leftovers.
More leftover for me
We're
and Mike.
all happy. Yeah, I do love a good pizza. It's got to be foldable. Soft pretzel would be like a dream because then you can have the mustard and it's bread and it's delicious.
A warm soft pretzel
Oh,
or like the
yeah.
kind of Wawa that's cold?
Oh, no. Not some Wawa great soft pretzel, like a super pretzel, but better.
Wow.
Cheese popcorn. I'll kill cheese popcorn. I'll just half that bag.
That's a good one.
If not
Yeah.
more is gone.
That bag's vaporized.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then for the last one, it's a tough call because I need something sweet in there. And it usually is a surprise mix of two things. So I will usually,
Surprise.
if I have vanilla pudding and
Wait.
like vanilla pudding cup, and then I put something else in it, it's so
Like
good.
a cookie or
Like
something? you
a
mean?
cookie. Or I know I did something
A
else
burrito?
that was
Like
not
what?
a
What's going in
burrito,
there?
something else sweet, like cookie dough or a cookie
sounds
or
pretty
like
good.
oh my God, it's just so.
That's the
or
only-
graham cracker, crumble a graham cracker into a vanilla pudding cup.
Like the Bill Cosby pudding cup?
I mean,
Now those are the ones that just knock you unconscious.
oh wow, wow.
So that's
No.
of the 16 selections, there was one sweet item. Every else
Wow,
was
that's
salt.
true.
All the other ones were salty.
Very salt
I have to have some
dominated
sweet
this.
in there.
I like
Yeah.
that. I'm glad you went last. You kind of you stuck out above. You contrasted everybody else's. I like
I'm
that.
the sweetest.
I'm
There you
interested to hear audience feedback on this
Mount
one. Everybody's
Munchmores.
got a Mount Munchmore.
Yeah, no,
No
everybody does. You can send them, you can DM us, you can put them on the social page. In that vein, guys, we've had a lot of fun talking 420. This is a very topical, very current event type show we did today to try to bring everybody in on 420. But man, we're in a cool spot here with the Infused Show because we're here at the end of April, beginning of May. We're hitting the road again. We're going to be going out. We're going to be seeing the people again. Guys, are you excited?
Very excited, especially because we're going to one of our favorite places.
Yeah.
Which is New York City.
Yeah. Mike, you ready to hit the road again?
I am. It's it's funny. We were in a real consistent week after week after week for a while, and then now we've been home for 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm kind of chomping at the bit to get out there.
Same.
It's gonna be fun.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, look, thanks to you, the audience. Thank you for listening. Thanks to the guests who've joined us over the past few weeks. We've had some amazing people join us on the Infused Show. More to come, more exciting things to come. We want to thank the people at PodConnects Network. Proud to be a part of you and your great lineup of shows. And say hi to our friends at Pro Cannabis Media as well. Guys, I'm going to see you next time.
You know you will.
All right, man. This has been a pleasure. Mike, Francesca, thank you so much. Thank you, Frankie, fifth-year producer extraordinaire. We're going to see you on the Infused Show next time from Delaware.